Thank you for tuning in to the official announcement of the Good Grief, Good God show, hosted by Grammy nominee and Emmy Award-winning hit songwriter Brad Warren of the Warren Brothers. I can't wait to share with you a preview of what Brad has coined raw, honest conversations about surviving things that suck. From Brad's first 4 guests, including today's double episode release featuring Al Andrews. Al is one of the most well-respected counselors in country music, and Jeffrey Steele, a Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame inductee. For episodes 3 and 4, Brad visits with Amy Mayo. Amy is one of only 3 females to win Song of the Year and Songwriter of the Year, and is also a best-selling author. For episode 4, Brad welcomes 2-time Songwriter of the Year, Casey Bedford. Although each guest comes from a different background, they share a common conviction of finding the good in grief, including Casey and Jeffrey, who, just like Brad, have lived through every parent's worst nightmare of losing a child. So first, here's Brad's story from episode 1 of finding the good in grief through faith and even lighthearted conversation, and why he has a passion for helping others, the same passion he shares with guest Al Andrews.
If people come to a counselor, they don't come because they're feeling great.
We always say in recovery that no one shows up here on a winning streak.
I don't know a lot of people that were trained in grief. When a hamster died, we just said, oh, it's hard, isn't it?
See, in my family, we ate the hamster. We really did raise rabbits. We would take Snowball to show and tell at school and then eat it for dinner the next week. I have this dad's group. We get together once a month, and it's dads who have lost children. Everyone doesn't have this rough, but everyone has something. And if you're already in that club, why not share it with other people? I can help someone else if I get a full breath. Run to the fire, don't run away from it, and I will literally get some relief. This is gonna sound crazy. I'm glad I'm an alcoholic. I found more benefit in recovery than I would have found if I hadn't had the ailment to start with. I may have never had to sit down and go, hey, it's not about you. It's not about you. You're not the piece of shit the world revolves around. Being an alcoholic has caused me to have to learn to live on a 5. You changed the sound of country radio. It's your fault, you son of a bitch. I don't you want to claim that, but you started the fast phrasing. No one ever did that. The fact is that your journey through being on the road, your decision to stay in Nashville. I mean, it sounds corny, but it's touched a lot of people.
I grew up in Hollywood.
I always try to ask these questions because it's kind of be obvious, but what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you, and what's the best thing that came out of that?
The only thing I see now is like how I let myself get away from myself. I'm not going to let my boy's death be the worst thing that ever happened to me. I'm going to say that his loss is the greatest thing that ever happened to me, but it's changed me in the most profound ways.
I know you believe in God,
yeah.
and I also know you're not super religious, so we have a lot of that in common.
Religion and spirituality and a relationship with God are completely different. I wouldn't technically say that the Holy Rollers were better than the Hellraisers.
No, I kind of tend to like the Hellraisers that get into recovery.
When you lose somebody and they're sick for a long time, you get to say the things you want to say, and you're more prepared. When you lose somebody in a shocking way, it adds a whole nother thing. You don't know the last time you're talking to them.
The morning of the day that Sage died, the truth is he was probably already gone but I sent him a text, and the last line of it was, today I had the freedom to be the best me I've ever been. And the truth is that's probably right about the time that he was going. And I didn't know it. And I'm like, oh, please let him have read that before he went. And then I have to get myself to the place where I go, no, he knows that. Are you in the Hall of Fame yet?
No.
You're not?
No.
Really?
You know this. In the last few years, just the perspective changes. I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't think about it.
We had a phone call from our mutual friend, Kenneth Wright. Clay Beathers got stabbed last night and he died.
They said, if any of you have a statement, you could say something.
Before the trial started, my daughter said, wouldn't it be awesome if Clay and Michael could become great friends in heaven?
And you're just going, if that's all this whole thing was about, then his work was done.
On the behalf of Brad, his wife Michelle, and segment producer Lisa Bolt, we hope you find the show not just entertaining, but impactful and inspiring. A reminder that you too can find the good in grief.